Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. For this episode, we will be covering The Witcher Season 3, Part 1. There will be spoilers ahead, but Akram, we get to return to the land of The Witcher. We get to see Henry Cavill back as Geralt. What do you think of this Part 1?
Yeah, entertaining for sure. I think it's a little bit on the slow side sometimes. There were plenty of cool I wouldn't say set pieces. There were individual battles that felt really small, and I don't know, it didn't really blow me away. It felt like they're waiting for part 2, and that's where things will actually really kick off. So as a part 1, it's okay, but I don't think it left a lasting mark, and I think a lot of people can probably agree. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like the popularity for the show is going down a bit, especially now that I think it was announced that Henry Cavill is like leaving after this season, perhaps, because I feel like he has a problem with like how they handle the lore for the show. Mm-hmm. I wasn't totally blown away by the season, I'll be honest. I think it's a lot more slow pace. It feels like the action, like you said, is like a lot more smaller scale, and it's like in between certain moments. And it's there was like a few fights that I thought were good. Like the first episode had like this cool one-shot pan where like Geralt was like fighting like the elves and the humans. I thought that was cool, but we didn't get too many like monster fights in this season, which is, you know, what Witcher is known for. Perhaps in part 2 we'll get those, but I feel like for the most part, part 1 was mainly just like kind of like political in a way, with like how the relationship between the elves and the humans, and they have this big like war going on, and everybody's like after Ciri because she's basically like she's basically the deciding factor for this big war, right? She's also trying to control her destiny a bit. I did enjoy Yennefer in this season. I thought Anya Chalotra was amazing, and it's so ironic because she wanted to have a baby or a child in the first season. Now she's kind of like this motherly figure towards Ciri, and it was really interesting, like seeing her relationship with her and how she's like growing on her a bit, right?
Yeah, I thought that was really cool, actually. That's actually really true, because it's really interesting to see Geralt and Yennefer become like these adoptive parents for Ciri. I really love how they played in those moments. It seemed like Ciri was kind of like stuck up sometimes, or just like a brat sometimes, and disobeying Yennefer here and there. So it was pretty funny at times. It was a cool idea to play with, and I like that a lot. I'm glad also they lent time to just these two hashing things out. It felt very emotional, and I think both performances were awesome. Sometimes I kind of wish that they stayed living in that space still a little longer, because Yennefer has like a lot of experience and trauma, and I think she has a lot to offer to Ciri. And I think Ciri, of course, she's still young. There's a lot to learn, and there's a lot of bad things that she will experience in her life. I just kind of wish they stuck with that a little longer, because I think it'll make it a lot more relevant towards like the audience too. But at least they played with it. So I'm glad they define another factor of why these characters are so kind of relatable in a sense. You know, you could kind of see yourself in them certain times. And Geralt, honestly, he's a natural born poet. There's like a lot of great lines that he said, especially when he was talking about his mother in that one scene. His performance was amazing. A lot of times he like said things, and it's so quotable. And I'm glad. I think the writing wasn't. People are probably gonna, burn me in the comments, but some moments the writing wasn't super bad. I think there was like a lot of key moments that were pretty well done.
There's pockets of enjoyable moments in this series, and that's why I'm kind of sad to see Henry go as Geralt, because I feel like he's so natural as Geralt. Like, he knows when to be a warrior, but also when to be, like you said, like a father figure, right? And to give that wisdom to Ciri, because she's kind of still naive about how the world. She wants to be like this great leader, and she wants to unite the world because she's like half elf, half human. But Geralt and Yennefer know the world better than her, how it actually is. So it's like they're trying to impart their wisdom on her, but she's still a bit reluctant. She has this like ideology that she thinks that she can make the world better. But as we see, like, this show is like there's a lot of like corrupt individuals, right? It's really messed up, like how they treat like elves and humans, and even like how they treat witchers too. They're kind of like this outcasts from society too. So I hope like the next part, maybe we'll see like maybe she kind of like understands a bit better, and she kind of like picks up some of those that wisdom from both of them, and she kind of learns that this is how it is, and then makes her like a better person and a better character, I guess.
Probably, yeah. I still am confused. Why did they make part 1 and part 2? It's gonna be weird because when you eventually go back and watch the whole season in total, it's probably going to feel like, oh, things went by too fast, like people flipped in a switch. So I felt like it's just something to make it seem grandiose. So like there was no reason. It was just to keep the hype going, especially it's Henry Cavill's last time being Geralt. So it's like, oh, okay, let's just keep the hype going. And who knows, we could pull in great numbers. Because when you have an intercession, there's a good chance that people will be like, oh, I want more. But
well, they did that with you, and they also did that with
they didn't do that
Stranger
with me,
Things.
But yeah, they did that with yeah, no, they did.
Yeah, I guess it's like Netflix's new way of kind of like, because they give all episodes out right away, so maybe it's their version of like you said, keeping the hype going or making it still trend or relevant. But then it's like, why not just like release it episode by episode, right?
Yeah, I think it worked well with Stranger Things, to be honest. Because they were like really long episodes. I think that made more sense, but with this, it didn't really. It's just to build up the hype. It's artificial, basically. And we're seeing that a lot with streaming companies now. It's like more evident. Anyway, moving on from that, we see also Jaskier. He has a little, like he has affectionate moments too.
Little crush, yeah.
Yeah. I think he was really cool in this season, though. What did you think of Jaskier's character?
Yeah, he's growing on me. He's always like my favorite part of the show. He's even got like a new tune now. His hair grew out too. He feels like Jonah from Hunters.
Yeah,
like, he's growing out his hair a little bit. He's kind of like getting that look from the games too. Yeah, he was fine. He was funny this season, and he's trying to help Redania, I guess, because I think he owes them like a debt. So he's trying to help them get to Ciri too, and he has like a little crush on the king's brother too, I guess. I think I don't know if he was like bisexual in the game too, because I guess he was like sleeping with everybody, I guess.
Yeah, he's just like that.
Yeah, but Joey Beatty, he's always funny as in the part, and he's so committed to the role, like Henry Cavill too. What do you think of him?
Yeah, I like how he's now that I wouldn't say second in command, but he has like a lot of wisdom through his experiences, seeing a lot of people in the bar and stuff, and they're just drunk or whatever. But I think that's also an opportune moment to learn something about people in general, because sometimes when you're drunk, you reveal certain things, and it's like, oh, okay. So he learns a lot of things on the go. So in a way, he is really wise, and I love how he gives advice to Geralt in that one scene. I love it. It kind of seems like we'll maybe see like one day this could be like this huge battle, and Jaskier will have a huge part to play. From just a guy who plays cool tunes to now somebody who's actually advising people in war. I think that's really interesting. That's like kind of like a glow up,
Yeah, it's almost like a coming of age character too. Like he was so kind of like naive in the first season, right? He just wanted to make money off of, Geralt's fame, and now he's actually like becoming this more mature character over time. Like he was even helping like the dwarves during that one battle. So it's like he's kind of building this self-confidence and this bravery, right? He's going out of his way to help people, not just, become like the comedic relief, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I also just want to mention, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect to see Robbie Amell in this. I was like, who is that? Is that Robbie Amell? You're doing a British accent? Okay, look at you. Robbie Amell, he plays the character Gallatin, and he kind of has a friendship with Cahir, and then there's a twist that Cahir has to take him out, which I was so sad because I was like, oh man, I want to see Robbie more in this.
I know. Yeah, he was awesome.
He was great.
He I love that he plays like a natural born leader, and that they have like this friendship. And I saw that death coming a mile away, because when the Emperor guy was like testing Cahir, he's like, well, prove your loyalty. I was like, oh man, he's gonna have to betray his friend, right? Because that's the only way, he gets back into this big empire, right?
Yeah, that sucked. Although I must say, I didn't really care so much for Cahir's character so far. I felt like it was just a thing that I kept on forgetting about, because there were like other things at play that were larger. So I don't think that was like the strongest part of part 1 of The Witcher season 3. We also see more of Stregobor, And yeah, it seems like he's kind of like the big baddie in this season. He's doing like a lot of bullshit, trying to get that guy the matches, as I call him, the guy who does the fire stuff. Let me get your thoughts on just this villain's overarching plot and this part one.
I love Lars Mikkelsen. He's
great. Yeah,
brutally honest in this show. It's so funny just how he talks. He's like, "You brood mare," or whatever. Like he's so like aggressively honest. But yeah, he was funny. But he's not the true villain of the season. It's,
really?
Actually, what's the guy's name? Vilgeforsh. I think his name was
the matches guy.
No, the guy that was in love with Tisea.
Oh shit, you're right. Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah, you're right.
They thought it was, and I thought it was Stregobor too, because I thought maybe he had like some plans to like kill off the elves. But yeah, that actually made sense that it was Vilgefortz now, and now it's even more fucked because now he has Tisea's trust, and I wonder if that's gonna build a wedge between Yennefer and Tisea, because they have a strong relationship over the series, but now I feel like because they have an affair together, I wonder if that's gonna make Tisea trust him more and trust Yennefer less, right? What do you think?
That's a tricky situation because I think they're on a thin line that whole little society they have, the whole like little friendship between everybody. That's gonna divide everybody now. That really so now you have like a civil war on your hands too. That's gonna be really tough. And she probably will choose the side of the other guy. That's really tough, and that puts a halt to like a lot of people's plans. You know what I mean? Especially like just trying to defend Ciri too. Like she can't even confide in these people now because then you have this whole toxic bullshit in the way. So it's like, what are you going to do now? But I also hope that doesn't become tiresome because Zoe's like trying to defend Ciri and like, oh, we got to go here. We got to go here. It's cool to explore places, but there has to be a point where, okay, we stop it and we kind of move on to a little bit something different. And perhaps when Henry Cavill leaves, unfortunately, maybe that's when they're going to change things up and in that sense. Again, I don't know.
They'll get Bo-Katan. That's
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan will take over.
With a Darksaber, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I also wonder, just a side note, I wonder how they're going to handle Liam Hemsworth playing Geralt in the future. I wonder if that, or they're just going to like leave it be.
That's going to be really strange to me.
Yeah.
Because it's like I love Henry so much. He gives so much to the performance. Just even like the little mannerisms he says, like with the right?
Yeah.
So seeing Liam, I don't know. I would have to. I wonder if they would. No, they probably wouldn't introduce him in part 2. That'd be weird. But I don't know. I think I just fell in love with Henry's performance so much. It'd be weird to replace him. It's not like Don Cheadle just stepping in and be like, "I'm here. Yeah. Let's just get over."
I think that probably sometimes the best way is just to move past something blithely without overcomplicating the switch. Because they could do something where it's like some potion that changes his face, but it's like now you have to talk about that and make that a whole
Time
thing.
Lord now, shit.
You know what I mean? Like some like weird mutation thing. I feel like. Who knows? Maybe he's gonna do a great job. Maybe in the next season we're gonna see like this awesome ass fight battle because they love to do that with Geralt, where they kind of introduce him sometimes with just like this one shot of him fighting people. Maybe they're gonna do that with Liam, and then we're gonna know. And I think kind of Liam has. I could imagine with the white hair, he kind of looks a little bit like the game Witcher. I mean, the game Geralt. You know what I mean? You could kind of picture that with the hair and the white. You know.
The game Geralt to me always looked older than Henry.
Well, yeah, he does, right? But that's what I'm saying with Liam. I think Liam, anyway, Liam's close to Henry Cavill's age or something. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe he's just, and he has more of a beard because Geralt doesn't really have one. So I'm thinking that he's probably gonna utilize the beard, and it'll look like from the game. So maybe people will be okay with that a little bit. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I feel weird about it still, but okay.
Perhaps.
Overall, though, what did you think of this part 1?
Didn't blow me away, to be honest. But like I said, I can't judge it fully because we don't have volume 2 out yet. But I think for the first half, I think it started out strong with the first episode. I liked the relationship dynamic between Geralt, Yennefer, and Ciri. I think they just have like strong chemistry, and once they separated and they went on their own paths, it was like it was all right. And the side characters for the most part were interesting, but they didn't really like hold me.
Yes.
Perhaps like I said, part 2 will fix that. The fights were pretty good. I always love like how they do the choreography because I love like the sword play that Henry does with the fighting scenes. The monsters, to be honest, I wasn't totally impressed with. I feel like sometimes the CGI looked like spotty. Like there was that big hand monster thing. Like it kind of looked like almost fake when he was fighting it. Because I love what they did with the creatures in season 1 with the Striga. They just made them like so terrifying. But here they were kind of like they were like an afterthought for me. They weren't even like the main threat. But yeah, how about you? Final thoughts for part 1?
Yeah, it kind of feels like season 1 was the golden age, and then after that it kind of goes downhill from there a little bit season by season, unfortunately. This season, I think I wouldn't say it's lackluster, but I would kind of say it's just really slow. Who knows, maybe part 2 will be all fast paced and stuff and this and that and be more fun, but this season just felt really kind of like a chore sometimes with certain scenes. It just kept on going on and on and on, especially that last episode had like an interesting concept of jumping back and forth and revealing certain things, but I felt like it didn't catch my interest that much, so unfortunately, yeah, I think I'm not disappointed, but I just think it's something that I'm like, whatever. It doesn't really appeal to me that much. Like season 1,
you're not excited for it.
Not excited. No.
Like to me, this was like this had for me the hype of Shadow and Bone.
Yeah.
It was just something like on my list, to check off. Like, oh, okay, well, Witcher's out. Let me just watch it.
Yeah,
but it's like I wasn't really a hype for it.
Exactly. I mean, well, you guys let us know, how did you feel about The Witcher Season 3 Part 1? And also let us know if they are staying true to the canon of somewhat, because, of course, Henry Cavill has an issue with like
They're
the writers
very
and
loose
stuff.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really interested to see what did they change here. But yeah, that is our review for The Witcher Season 3 Part 1, now streaming on Netflix, 5 episodes. Guys, if you like this video, actually like this video, and please check out our other reviews on the channel. I just did a video essay for 28 Days Later. We're starting to do video essays now, so check that out. It's really cool. Also, don't talk shit in the comments about my comment on the writing was not bad. But anyway, Dylan, why don't you take us away?
Yeah, guys, let us know what you thought of this season or this first parter and predictions for the next season. But yeah, we also did a season 2 review for The Witcher as well. So if you guys are interested, check that out as well. But yeah, guys, leave a like, share, comment. Anything helps the channel. Let us know how we're doing. But until then, thanks for having lunch with us, guys.
See you guys.